What's up, Missy? How are you?
Hey, can you
Okay,
hear
your
me
audio.
okay?
I can hear you fine. All right,
Okay.
Monday. What about you? Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right.
Hi.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first if it's
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if some of you are familiar with me, but I do astrology, mostly forensic astrology, which is looking at crime through the eyes of astrology. I also do tarot and I do dowsing and I do spirit box as well. I haven't published that many spirit box videos. So I
Okay. So
do
let
a
me.
lot of the same things. Yeah.
This is who. This is who's talking, guys. You guys know her from the
hmm
comments a lot. Just catching everybody up. Go ahead. I have a question about Spirit Box when you're done, though.
Oh, okay. So I do a lot of the same things that a lot of other astrologers and mediums and whatnot do. Um, the only difference is some of us don't monetize anything having to do with missing people. I hope you can still hear me, or
Yes.
crime victims. And so that's kind of a dividing line. I'm not going to try to tell other YouTubers, how to live, and they certainly have the right to monetize, but I chose not to. Um, and I also don't mention names of what I would consider to be potential perpetrators because I don't have any legal proof of people that I suspect of doing certain things.
Right.
Also, in this world, we have freedom of speech, but freedom of speech is not always free. You can be held legally liable for damaging someone's reputation, etc. And, so that's another reason why I just, keep names to myself. Um, and I'll just make up a nickname like Brutus or Elmer or something like that. If I see something in astrology, like an asteroid with a name on it, I'll mark the name out and rename it to protect the person's identity. So, but like I said, I do all these things also,
What,
but I
what is
just
an
operate a little differently.
so? What is astronomy? Is it
Astrology.
an astrology
hmm
map? What is that?
It's basically a wheel and it's divided into 12 parts, like a pie. And each part, there's 12 houses, and each house represents an area of life. And so that's why we look to the charts to try to figure out what happened to somebody or where they are, that sort of thing, or how things will end up for them.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, so that's what it is. It's just an area of life, and each pie section has a sign, an astrological sign assigned to it, and then within that you have planets
Okay,
attached
gotcha.
to each
Okay.
sign.
So there's a lot of creators. You don't see. I don't know how many. Let me ask you this question as well before I get
Yeah.
to it. Like when it
hmm
comes to psychics,
hmm
and I don't know. So there is a medium who is somebody who can talk to the dead. Correct.
Um, some mediums do feel like they are in contact with the person that they are trying to contact, a deceased individual, and they feel very strongly that they are actually talking to that person. I can't say they are. I can't say they aren't. Um, that part is unknown to me, like what somebody else is hearing and why.
So you have somebody who can do medium. You have
hmm
somebody who is what is the word for the people that you go and they tell you about your future, a husband that you might marry, or so you have people who
Um,
look at the dead, and then you have the future would be is just a psychic, right?
Basically, like a fortune teller, psychic, medium, any of those things work. But mediums are typically more involved with speaking with the dead, typically.
So the spirit box and the
hmm
tarot cards. What was that
hmm
wrong? Tarot cards? Tarot.
Tarot, uh huh, yeah.
Tarot cards. these are like lesser of a form of a psychic.
They are tools used by psychics and also people like I don't regard myself as a psychic, but I say that I get intuitive messages or spirit messages through tools like dowsing and tarot and spirit box. And so I just consider them messages from the spirit world. I don't always know who I'm talking to. Um, I might feel like I'm talking to a deceased person, but I can't prove that. And I know
So,
that.
so can other people? So how do other people know, or how do they prove it? Do they have more of a gift, or so? In instance, this lady that I just showed
Uh huh.
that is claiming that she's spoken to Maddie. How does
Right.
so? I hear what you're saying, and I believe what you're saying, but
Yeah.
how does this lady be able to know or specify who she's talking to?
Um, it's really going to be based on the medium's interpretation of the spirit box. And, you know, I can't say that they are, I can't say that they are not communicating with the person that they feel so strongly that they're communicating with. Um, there have been times where I felt that I was communicating with somebody and that person was talking to me through the spirit box and giving me answers. But like I said, I can't prove it. There's no way to prove it because it's the spirit world and um, it's it's just something that you can't put your finger on. You can't say, I know I'm definitely talking to Trina Gibson, or I know I'm talking to this person or that person. I can't say that. Now, some other
Right.
people feel very strongly that they are, and there's no that's just how they feel.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
That makes sense. At least there's some honesty to it.
yeah, hmm
You know, so now Ziggy is like master tarot reading now. She's like technically better than Miss Cleo is what I've been hearing. Um Miss Cleo, yeah.
hmm
You ever heard her readings?
I have. I've talked to Ziggy. Never really, had like any issues with her or anything like that. But um, she does enjoy doing a lot of tarot. She seems to um, do good readings, for people. They ask her to do readings and they pay for them. So, you know, um, uh, just a lot of us that have channels are selling services like private readings. And, if I were to do anything that was monetized, I wouldn't connect it to a missing person or a crime victim. I would just offer a personal reading or something like that if I wanted to make money at astrology or tarot or
You know, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm trying to like
a missing
ask questions
person.
of what I see on YouTube.
Yeah.
When I had a reading
Hmm.
from this person, and this person was really good, dead on.
Yeah.
And I tell
Hmm.
them there's nothing for me to gain to
Hmm.
lie about it. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. Um,
Right.
but what I'll say is like the things that you're saying
Uh-huh.
make sense because she also would kind of hard to explain. She would tell me stuff
Yeah.
and be able to specifically like tell me, for example, at
Hmm.
this time I got this reading. I had some problems with my feet,
Oh,
and
yeah.
telling me that I need to get new boots,
Hmm.
and yeah, and also something on my shoulder, some things with my family. And the craziest thing that she said is she told me that my mom was going to find love again. Now that at the time I thought that was the craziest thing she told me in the reading. Come to find out, I called my mom like about a month later, And I was telling my mom about this, and my mom was like crazy weirded out in a good way because she had went with her own friend, and her friend treated her to a reading, and they that person said basically spot on to my mom at a different location at a different time. We didn't even know we're doing this, different state, the same things that the lady told me. It is crazy. But at the same time, on other things, she could not like tell me specific things again. It is like confusing and hard to explain, but a lot of what you're saying. I just think a lot of
Yeah.
people on YouTube are shenanigans, and there's no way that I just can't believe that somebody can dial up.
She also sent you a whole shit ton of us, but you two Swedish fish for the hurricane. Didn't
Yeah.
know anything about you because she was my friend at the time and didn't speak to you, and she said she knew that you.
Yeah. So this, yeah, that's true.
And
So
she knows all.
the person who did a reading sent us like a care package when we had like a level 5 hurricane Ian, and she just went to Publix and bought stuff, and it was crazy because she like mailed us, but we had to actually go pick it up from Publix, I believe, Walmart. And she like selected like 5 of my favorite things. I didn't tell her what to get, nothing like that. It was
Amazing.
randomly did it. It is crazy. It is lined up. But anyway, again, I'm not against psychics, but I do think that a lot of these people on YouTube, okay, not all, and I do not want to, bash the psychic communities, not what I'm doing, but a lot of them in missing children cases, shenanigans.
It would
That,
be just as easy for you to be as serious as
do you,
you're acting, and you could do a reading.
do you think I have it wrong? And I'm not saying all. I'm not saying. Let me. I don't want. No, I don't even want you to answer that because I don't want you. I don't want you to gain like problems or enemies. But
No,
if you
no,
want,
it's fine. Go ahead.
the lady who claims she can talk to Ted Bundy, for example.
She said she brought him
Um,
tonight, and he's not bad anymore. He's in heaven.
Yeah, is such an.
She made him.
She after I watched this live last night about this lady with the spirit box and Maddie, I went over to Psychic Sleuths, and all the Ted Bundy videos are gone. There's no more Ted Bundy talk to Summer. There's no Ted Bundy told me where Summer's at. They're all sporadically hidden after our little exchange, and I just find that a little bit strange. But
Like 2 weeks ago, we were asking her.
yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
I I just that is kind of wild to believe that you're talking to Ted Bundy. I can't know if she is or she isn't from the spirit world. These spirit boxes, man, they have a mind of their own. I don't know if they're programmable. I don't know if people can use AI to program them or make them say certain things, but I
Of course, though, you can get all those audio clips. They're like little excerpts of robots and fart noises and all types of. I could totally, and I actually was gonna buy Spirit Box off Amazon for a parody. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think if I could buy. I don't. I'm not going for that last video that I watched whatsoever. Not one bit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta. I guess I'm gonna have to stick at. I do believe people have a gift, but
Yeah.
I do not. I do. I have. You have to go with your gut on YouTube, and I pretty much can nail a mile away on YouTube.
I feel like most psychics are not real. There are some that are. And it sounds like the one that you got in contact with was the real deal. I don't know if she had your birth data or not. But you can also tell a lot about a person by looking at their astrology chart. So that's just like 2 different methods of reading a person. Of course, astrology, there's nothing psychic about that. That's all just book knowledge and a bunch of memorization. It's a bunch of rules, is what it is. And you practically have to be a Philadelphia lawyer sometimes to interpret a chart. But, so it sounds like she was real, but most that I have seen are not real.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
especially on YouTube.
Mhm.
All right, babe, you had a question?
Is it possible, Missy, for somebody to say bring Ted Bundy or somebody else to the light and make them cross over and be good while they're past and now in heaven?
Yeah,
um, I don't think that a psychic can influence that. Um, like try to make a person be good or whatever. Maybe when a person crosses over to the other side, maybe they're penitent, maybe they are sorry for the things that they did, but a psychic could not facilitate that. That would have to be their own spirit, in my opinion. That would be like between them and the Lord.
right.
I agree. Thank you.
All right, Missy, I'm gonna drop
Yeah.
your.
Thanks,
You,
Charlotte.
you know, you should. These should be good content on your channel to explain these things to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I'll ask her to contact me.
Noel said you could do a reading for her. Should do it on the
Okay,
channel.
Free.
okay.
You get with her. All right, Missy, I'm gonna drop your link as well. I appreciate you coming up and talking about this stuff and clearing
Thank
and
you.
saying what you did. I really appreciate it. And
No
I have
problem.
one question, and I honestly want you to answer it honestly. And
Okay, okay.
I promise you, I will not get offended.
Mhm.
I know that you support us, and I appreciate that first and foremost.
Yeah, yeah.
When I talk about, for instance, tonight with this lady with the Matty
Mhm.
Soto case, or any,
Yeah.
have I ever do I come off disrespectful to the psychic community? I'm not gonna get offended at all. I promise you.
Some do believe that you're judging them pretty harshly.
Okay.
But you know, there's just so many opinions involved with the spirit world and with psychics and astrologers and everything. And yes, I would say that some feel like they're being judged unfairly or harshly. Yeah, I would. But
Okay.
you know,
I appreciate.
you have
I
a right
respect.
to your opinion. Yeah.
I respect it. I just
Mhm.
listen. If it's, when it's missing or when it's it's my tone. I can be abrasive. I've heard that as well. But when it is dealing with missing or dead children, I think I do have the right to have the opinion as well. So it is what it is. I respect that you can see it all, and I appreciate that. Just want you to know that.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you too.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, y'all mods, drop your link, Missy. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I do that? Okay, like this. Okay. That was Missy. Y'all.